universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife.
Oh, direct from London's West End is Pride and Prejudice, sort of, a unique and clever retelling of Jane Austen's most iconic love story. The show is playing right now at CAA Theatre on Yonge Street, and they just announced their extended run in Toronto. Joining us now in the studio this morning are the amazing and talented cast members, Christina, Gordon, and Lucy Gray. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
Yes, I had the lucky opportunity to watch on opening night, and I was just blown away because I really did not expect what I was going to see. So first of all, Lucy, talk to us about why this is such a clever and unique retelling. It's not this stuffy, Old English novel, is it?
No, it's not a classic period drama.
Yeah.
It's five of the servants of the house retelling the story. So it's five of us running around like mad chickens on the stage, playing every character, singing karaoke songs, and having a great time.
Yes, there's the song Young Hearts Run Free.
Indeed.
And You're So Vain. I think the audiences were cheering for that because it does incorporate a lot of that modern stuff. And Christina, you play, 3 different characters in this show, and both of you take on the men's roles, which we can get to later. But what is it like for you being part of this really impressive production?
Oh, it's so much fun. It never gets old. The show's been going for years and years, and every time it's still as challenging and as joyful, and the responses from the audiences just always bring so much joy and life to it. And yeah, just very, very happy to be here.
Yes, okay. And I know that you're doing a lot of shows, like 8-9 shows a week. Talk about just the rehearsal time. Is it really, because when you're on stage, and this is quite a comedy, you think, wow, this is so natural and spur of the moment. But how much do you actually time those funny moments and bits? How much of it is rehearsed?
Oh, yeah. I think comedy is one of those things where you have to, it's the knack of it. It's like making it look as if you haven't rehearsed it a lot, but you've rehearsed it again and again and again. And we sort of, like, there's looks that we do that we've done hundreds of times in order to get the timing bang on and to get that laugh just perfectly right. Yeah.
And Christina, talk about the transitions, because it moves very quickly. I don't think I saw a moment where you ladies took a break at all. You went from the eldest daughter, Lady Jane, to Lady Catherine, to George Wickham, and Lucy, you were, Bingley, himself and his sister. So what is that transition like for when, the stage changes and you guys need to switch characters?
Yeah, it's a bit mad, and you're just trying to find your way a lot of the time. But yeah, it's the most supportive cast and group. So even if you drop a moment or you miss a bit of set, there's always someone who'll just come and push it on for you. And yeah, it took a bit to get there, but I think once you're in the rhythm of it, it just all comes really naturally. And
oh gosh, it's so impressive. I just remember watching it and being like, these women are fantastic. And you are playing the roles of the men in the story, and you play Bingley, but you also do drag as well. So what's it been like incorporating that skill set into this production?
Yeah, it's just amazing. It's so rare that as a performer from lots of different worlds, you get to sort of bring those worlds together. But to just get to sort of interact with the audience in that way, and playing men is just such a joy. And we were speaking just yesterday about how when the show was starting, people were sort of a bit like, oh, I don't know if a woman can play Mr. Darcy.
Yeah.
And then you come and watch it, and everyone's just so on board and just loves every minute of it.
Yes.
So,
yeah, and I know you've got a comedy coming up with Danny Harris, your other cast member, and she plays Mr. Darcy, but also the mother of the 5 girls. So it's amazing that once you change your behavior, put on a jacket, you can just switch like that. Speaks to the credit of your talent and how fun this is. Christina, Lucy, thanks for joining us. Good luck with the show. I hope everyone gets a chance to watch Pride and Prejudice, sort of, at the CAA Theatre well into January. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's where all the fireworks are going down on December 31st for New Year's Eve. And we are counting down to the new year. And also a lot of brands like RBC, Apple, they triumphed during this year. But on the flip side, one's got a little bit tarnished, including Elon Musk.
So for more on the best there was in branding in 2023, branding expert and host of Chatter That Matters, Tony Chapman, joins us live in the studio this morning with more on this. Tony, great to have you in person to join us to talk about this.
Always fantastic to be here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's start off with the strong players, the strong brands of 2023, starting with RBC.
Well, I've been around RBC for a while because they sponsor the podcast, and that's not why I picked them.
I was going to say,
But, you know, they constantly are best this, best that, best place to work. Yeah, they're big bank. But what really surprises me is their agility. Two things. Nick Taylor's 92-foot putt, he's got an RBC on, RBC sponsorship. That's okay, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And then Taylor Swift, we have our Prime Minister tweeting saying, bring Taylor to she's bypassing Canada. RBC makes it happen, not just in Toronto and Vancouver. To me, an organization that size that can move with that agility, to me, deserves top brand.
how do they get Taylor Swift to come?
Because they're very connected with Live Nation. They understand how to put on an event and execute and amplify it. More importantly, they're letting tickets to anybody that in Canada. You don't have to be an RBC customer, chance to win tickets. So they're just doing it all the right notes.
Smart.
So I give them full credit for that.
Yeah,
All
for
right.
sure.
Okay, well, it's still a couple days of Christmas. People could maybe put their money towards a good cause in terms of clothing. Patagonia, all of a sudden,
Patagonia, I
on the good
love
list.
this guy, Yves Chouinard, who founded it in 2000. I guess 2 years ago now, he said, I don't need to be a billionaire anymore. He took his entire corporation, put all his shares into a trust so that from here on in, Patagonia is going to be giving back to the planet.
Wow.
And to me, that's say what you mean and mean what you say. And they've always stood for the environment. Now, the whole I don't know how the kids feel about the fact that Dad's billions of dollars have gone into it. But I give them full marks for absolutely being on the side of the planet.
And being authentic. And
Authentic.
Just, yeah.
And that's who they stand for. They even charge a tax on their clothes that they can give more programs to help local water, sanitation, everything they're doing around the world says to me this is somebody that actually believes in the brand, not just a marketer.
Right, especially when climate change is such a big issue these days. Okay, very important. Turning to some food, things that we can put in our mouth. Unilever Hellmann's mayonnaise also tackling food insecurity.
Yeah, and we were talking about, you know, over half our food is wasted from farm to plate. And they've said, you know what, we're in the business of food. Let's find a way to recover it. So they work with this organization called the Table de Chef, and they're taking food that's in that should have gone to landfills, repurposing it, feeding the people that need it. So I give credit for a brand that goes, I'm not just about putting mayonnaise on a sandwich. I'm about what can we do for the good of humanity.
Yeah, maybe we'll get people to like mayo as well. Some people
I like it.
You
I
like
used
mayo?
to hate it as a kid. I tell you, I'm on a different tune now. In a hamburger,
Really?
on a sandwich, you
My
need
wife's
that moisture.
my wife's a mayo on a hamburger thing.
You don't like that?
Unless
I
it
like
makes it
their
with
olive
sriracha.
oil. Hellmann's olive oil mayonnaise is delicious.
Really?
I'm a big fan of that.
All right, give it a shot. All right, okay, let's skip to the naughty list. Elon Musk, not good for branding right now?
Well, you know what? He has gone so crazy with his comments that he's pulling down the value of the shares in Tesla, SpaceX. This guy was investing in space, taking over the whole sense of power and the power grid and electricity and batteries. And I'm saying, this guy could do no wrong, but since he bought Twitter, which is now X, whatever, he's constantly derailing everything attached to him, and I think he's going to be... if I was the board and there was any way we could he has to be moved to the sidelines. He's become more of a liability to those organizations. Those are jobs. Those are people's livelihood at stake. Every time he opens his mouth, he's threatening them, and for that I give him bad marks. A big fan of him as a genius.
Right.
Totally not a fan of how he's acting in terms of a brand ambassador, the lead singer of these businesses. Okay,
turning to another brand that didn't do so well, Bud Light, with a kind of missed campaign.
Yeah, I mean, they missed with this campaign, but where I'm down on Bud Light is they scrambled afterwards. Instead of just saying, listen, we're about being inclusive. We're about being a beer for everybody. The second Kid Rock blew up the case, they started going into panic attack. People got fired. Their sales plummeted. And I think what they should have done is said, listen, this is what we did. We want, we embrace, this was a campaign and just move on, but it's turned on to be 13% decrease in sales. This is their biggest flagship brand.
Wow.
A mess.
That's not great. All right, okay, now Loblaw, they're on the crosshairs for a lot of people, not just you.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Loblaw, and I did a TV show with Galen West. He's a fine guy, but she's backing down on this code of conduct. He's got to let the farmers and the independent grocers, everybody level the playing field. He's holding all the aces. They're the biggest in the country. He doesn't want to give up those aces. That's capitalism. But in this case, he's on the wrong side of the brand, and I think he's going to pay for it because consumers are going to start paying attention to it and saying, well, I can go anywhere with my grocery dollars. So be careful, Galen West. And I think when it comes to the code of conduct, you should be signing this because we need a level playing field.
Maybe he should do it, Elon, and step to the side. Is that what you think?
You know, he's already moved himself up to chairman, but at the same time, he's in the crosshairs. And when your lead singer's in the crosshairs,
dangerous territory.
Yeah.
Okay, Tony Chapman, host of Chatter That Matters and branding specialist. Always a pleasure to hear from you. Take care. Happy holidays, Tony.
You too as well.
Likewise. Nice to meet you.
Bye-bye.
Yes, sir. All right, of course, the main turkey dinner is the big deal on Christmas Eve. Andrea Bucket here to let us know how to store it and eat it for the next couple days after that.
Yes,
Hi,
exactly.
Andrea.
How's it going, guys?
It's
Happy
awesome.
holidays.
Happy holidays.
Yeah, when I'm meal planning for the holidays, I always think about turkey.
Yes.
Right? The main protein on my table. I love it. And we usually talk about Turkey 101, but today I want to talk about best practices for storing leftovers. So leftovers, if you have them, right? A couple ways I like to do it. Number one is I like to portion it out and put it into freezer bags, and they're dated, because turkey really only lasts in the fridge about 3 to 4 days. And I know some people like to keep it a little bit longer, but if you see that you're not going to eat it, or you're sick of it, or maybe you don't even want it the next day, start portioning it into little bags or little containers. Seal it well, get as much air as you can out of there, and then you can pop it in the freezer, and then you can take it out into these little portions and have hot, hot turkey sandwiches. This has a bit of gravy in it to keep it nice and moist. You can chop it up and pull it out for sandwiches. Lots of different options, right?
Good call.
Definitely always talking stock, and we want to talk about reducing food waste. So take that turkey carcass. You can even freeze this. So if you're not up for making, turkey stock the very next day because you've already done a huge dinner and you're like, I don't want to do anything else, just throw everything into the freezer in a big freezer bag, and when you're ready to do it, you can pop it into a pot, bring it up to a simmer with water, strain everything off, and you have a delicious turkey stock. Really good for when you're feeling under the weather.
Yeah, I was just about to say, that makes sense.
Every part of the bird.
Yeah,
I love it.
absolutely.
So you're also talking about recipes, creative recipes to not just eat that same turkey dinner over and over.
Right.
And you've got some turkey carnitas here.
Yeah, so I like turkey because it's a bit versatile, and you can think about it in all of the different recipes that you pull together all year long. And so we did a nice carnita here, which is completely different than a Christmas dinner. Right? We've got some chili powder, cumin, oregano. You fry it up so the turkey, what we're using white turkey meat here, is nice and crispy. Then we're going to finish with a little bit of orange juice, and that orange juice is going to just give that pop of citrus flavor. And then we're going to garnish it with some red onions and some cilantro. But again, this is completely different flavor than your Christmas dinner. As you said, you have people in your house that don't love leftovers.
Yeah, I have a lot.
Basically
Everybody.
They won't even know this is a leftover.
Exactly.
After you spice it up.
You're completely transforming it.
I know.
And then another thing I love to do is a nice cold roll. So this is a play on a Thai cold roll. You get some beautiful white turkey meat there. Shred up some carrots, some cucumbers, some red peppers, pop it in the rice paper roll, and then just get a great dipping sauce. Here we have a peanut sauce, but you could also use like a hot and sour sauce. Again, a nice fresh way to lighten up the turkey after, enjoying the big meal on Christmas Day.
I have a question, Andrea. I'm always intimidated by these rice paper rolls because I see them and I'm like, oh, it looks so delicate. How do I make it? So how do you prepare it?
It is delicate, and it does take a little bit of practice, but they're super easy to use. You're going to get a bowl of like warm or tepid water, and you're going to take your rice paper and you're just going to dip it in until it's just pliable. You don't want to make it super pliable, because then once it sits with all the veggies in there and the moisture, it'll fall apart. So, and then you just like fill it with whatever you want. And like I said, because that turkey is super lean and versatile, you can sort of put whatever flavors you want in there.
And what's this dip?
Peanut sauce.
Nice.
Peanut sauce is like one of my favorites. It's like peanuts, it's like soy sauce.
You're giving me the green light. Okay.
Try some.
I've been waiting.
Did you make that peanut sauce?
I cannot tell a lie. That might be out of a bottle.
But at least
take the shortcuts. Even I take the shortcuts, right? But support your Canadian turkey farmers. They raise beautiful turkeys all year round.
Absolutely.
We love this.
Yeah, this is delicious, and I love the Hulk colors with the green and purple there.
So recipes. Where do we get these at? You're writing a cookbook, but right now.
I am. You can find me. Thank you. High five. You can find me on Instagram at Andrea Bucket Cooks. Yeah.
Love it. So simple, so great. Always love having you here, Andrea. Great ideas, and I hope some people use these recipes. I think I will. Now that I know how to make rice paper.
I'm loving it. I want this.
Well, we'll leave that for you. You guys, you know what the best is? That crispy turkey skin.
Oh, where's that at?
We're going to have to get you a knife to get that.
Nah, we can hands it.
Wow, delicious. Okay, thanks so much, Andrea.
Thank you so much. Happy holiday, guys.
All of the carols we sang, and my favorite feeling is the happiness the holiday brings. I love the smell.
Oh, it's so beautiful and festive. That is the voice of singer-songwriter Susie McNeil gearing up for the holidays with a new Christmas album that has some all-time classics of hers and a soon-to-be cone as well. So, Susie, we'd like to welcome you to CP24 Breakfast this morning. You're dressed as a lovely snow bunny, and it's such a great contrast with your lovely hair. Your voice is just, I hear it and I get chills. What made you want to put out this Christmas album, Snow, 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 and what can people expect from it?
Well, about 10 years ago, I released a Christmas record, and I just loved that way of celebrating the season. So I was like, I think it's time again. Century later. No, 10 years. It's 100
Feels like
years.
a century sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah, so I wrote a bunch of original songs and released a few singles through the years, and then I put them all together and I rounded them out with some traditional songs. So there's a good mix of like new and old on there.
Right. Your cover of the Tragically Hip's Bobby Cajun got a lot of attention, and your rendition of it was so unique and so Susie. So just talk about the reaction that you got for that one, for example.
Well, I've done a lot of different styles of music through my career. You know, I did a lot of rock through Rockstar NXS, and then sort of pop with my radio hits. But before all that, my first love was more of a soul, like I'd say pop soul. So I was like, you know what? I've been in this business for so long. I really want to do, like, it's like you get old and wise enough to just say, I want to do what I want to do. So I'm pivoting everything into a little bit more of a soul feel. You know, my song Merry-Go-Round, if anyone remembers that, we made it feel more like an Al Green groove. Like, so this album is a lot more soul than the last one, for sure.
Well, I love that you're going back to something that you love and more of what you think is your own roots. You know, that's always a signal that
you don't want to play the game as much when you get older.
You're like, I'm doing me now. You guys can take it or leave it.
Totally.
But speaking of rock, you recently toured with Aerosmith. You were part of their Vegas residency, and unfortunately, you know, the lead singer of the Aerosmith, his voice was a bit damaged from being sick. But talk about being on tour with, I mean, one of the greatest rock bands ever.
Yeah, I mean, I did Vegas with them for years. Like, I think it was 2 years before COVID. We had a residency. Then, obviously, it all shut down. And they didn't start getting going again until last year. And then this year was the tour. So we did all the rehearsals. We did 3 shows. And then, like you said, Stephen is suffering from vocal cord damage. So now we're kind of waiting for him to get better, which I know as a singer, there's a lot of struggles with that. Like, you're essentially a voice athlete. So, you know, you got to take care of it or repair it if it gets damaged. So it's just a matter of time. He needs time now to heal.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I mean, it's amazing. It's as amazing as you would think it would be. They're rock legends.
For sure. And, you know, to be part of that, I mean, you're a legend too. So they're just as lucky to have you, Susie.
There you go.
Exactly. Okay, so Susie, very quickly, before, because you're going to perform on our show, which I can't wait for, but describe kind of your ideal Christmas this year. Well, what's it looking like?
It's going to be just not working would be the first. It's a very busy season for musicians and parties and events and entertainment. So tonight's my last show, and I'm just gonna chill. I have a 6-year-old son, so he is like, it's the best age for this season. Like, all the magic and excitement is there. So I'm just basically gonna watch him.
Yeah, we really get to relive the joys of Christmas through our kids. Oh my gosh. Okay, Susie McNeil, love speaking to you, but don't go away, audience, because Susie McNeil will be sticking around and giving us a performance right after this break. So stay tuned. So cool.
Under the tree, trying to teach the little ones not to be too greedy. My heart is filled with love and delight when I'm surrounded by my family. This is Christmas.
All right, welcome to a very musical edition of CP24 Breakfast.
Yes, as promised, Susie McNeil and Richie Rocks is here to give us a live performance of her single out on our brand new Christmas album called Snow, Snow, Snow. Take it away.
2, 3, 4.
I'm a sucker for this time of year. The whole world's about that Christmas cheer. People shopping, lights are popping. It's almost here. There's a loving feeling in the air. Kids in hats and mittens everywhere. Sugar candy spicy brandy. Saint Nick is here. Woo! And my favorite song are all of the carols we sang. Fa-la-la. And my favorite feeling is the happiness that holiday brings. I love the smell of the fireplace and the taste of your lips neath the mistletoe. And my favorite color is snow, snow, snow. Yes, snow, snow, snow. Well, there's just something about those streets of white. Turns the noise into a silent night. Makes some angels, ring some sleigh bells. It all feels right. Yeah. And my favorite song are all of the carols we sang. Fa-la-la. And my favorite feeling is the happiness that holiday brings. I love the smell of the fireplace and the taste of your lips neath the mistletoe. And my favorite color, yeah, my favorite color is snow, snow, snow. Yes, snow, snow, snow. Let it snow, snow, snow. Let it snow, snow, snow. Yeah, let it snow.
I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand, talk to myself for hours, see things you don't understand.
I love this music video, especially when she, strips down to the bra and panties and starts doing a serious workout. But we're talking about a celebration of another year of big music releases and performances. Much Music wraps up the best music moments of 2023 with the Much list. So for more on this, we're joined by the awesome Much Music VJs, Kwesi Kwaku-Fosu and Sade Powell. Welcome back to the show, guys. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Thanks for having
Good to
us.
see you. Okay, so let's start off with your choice for Breakthrough Artist of the Year.
Okay.
Who is it?
So, of course, we have Tyla. She is a South African artist, and her song Water went viral. There was a dance to it and everything, and people were trying to do the dance. It was quite the thing to see on TikTok.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we're going to show a part of that dance, because I saw the video for the dance yesterday, and I was like, that's going to be a hard challenge to follow.
Yeah, I tried. I don't know. Quay, are you going to give it a shot?
Do not ever ask me to do that dance. But she is the Breakthrough Artist of the Year because that song it was constructed so well from beginning to end. And songs that do so well on TikTok don't just make that much noise for just having a good hook. The song from beginning to end went crazy. Now we're going to see how much she does in the next year, 2024.
Yeah, and she's so young. And what a fitting name for a song, given how thirsty that video was.
That was good. That's a good one.
Also, once again, the song isn't... Travis Scott wouldn't ask to hop on the remix if that song wasn't so fire.
Yes. No, that is a good point. Okay, next up, we're talking about artists that had a big year. I mean, a few names come to mind, starting with, another artist by the name of T, with the name T in her name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That T Swiftie, Taylor Swift, she had one of the craziest years I've ever seen because one of her songs, Cruel Summer, was dropped in 2019, had a resurgence in 2023. Swear it has over 1 billion streams. Her tour, highest grossing tour of all time, like she was just breaking records, getting a million awards. Like this was her year. The Swifties, they better stand up because they put in work for her.
They really are. And
she's got 6 shows in Toronto next year. So.
Yeah, so we're going to see our economy change.
yeah, probably.
That's for sure.
Get a lot of
Hopefully.
tourists in.
Yeah, and also, I mean, Beyonce had a big year as well, right?
Yeah.
And our boy Drake.
A major year. I got to see Beyonce,
Nice.
so
Yeah.
that was an incredible experience. I've always wanted to see her perform, and Quay is a big fan of Beyonce.
Yes.
Did you watch the movie yet? Her new movie?
No, I
yet?
haven't gotten to
Okay.
watch the movie. I mean, I got to see her perform, so I'm like,
Right.
live
Yeah.
is best.
Yeah.
But I do want to see the movie for sure.
Okay, and also Jungkook had a big year as well.
Yeah, Jungkook from BTS had a huge year. He dropped an album recently. He collabed with Lotto. He collabed with Usher. He did a collab with. So I'm very excited for him in the next year. I know a lot of BTS is going off to the military, but I guarantee they have stuff in the vault for 2024.
Yeah, when they come back from service, brace
2025.
yourselves.
Let's go.
They're going to be busting some moves. Okay,
Right.
and of course, we cannot leave out the Canadians. You know, we always kind of overlook, but we have so much Canadian talent. So talk about some of the Canadian artists that have really made their mark as well.
So we have Shania Twain, our queen.
Shout out the queen. Shout out the queen for
She
real.
came back. She was doing a tour. We got to speak to her also earlier this year. VJ Teddy got to talk to her. He told her that she's the GOAT, and that was the first time she ever heard that term, so it was a really fun moment. We have Tate McRae, who's been killing it. She also just dropped an album, and her song Greedy is doing numbers. So we're really excited to see her, how she continues into the next year.
Yeah, and Tate McRae was also on SNL as the musical act, so that's huge.
Tate she had an amazing 2023. Like I watch a lot of basketball, so she's probably like the most improved player in my opinion. So like, and next year is probably gonna be an even crazier year for her because she's just making major moves. I don't know. I'm very excited to see how she does in the future.
Yeah, we got to support our Canadian artist. She was also here on our show, so that's awesome. Shout out to CP24 Breakfast. And Much Music, of course. So if people want to find out more about the full Much Music list of your picks, where should they go?
So you guys can catch us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. We're on all the things. Just look up Much Official or Much on TikTok, and we're also on YouTube. So check us out there.
Yeah, if you want to see the YouTube version, go watch that. You can see the beautiful faces of the VJ chopping it up, talking it up. But if you just want to see the graphics where we just stand on business, on Instagram, Twitter, all the social media platforms.
That's how it is these days. Well, thank you so much, Kwesi and Sade, for coming in this morning. Happy holidays, by the way, and we'll see you again in 2024. Take care.
Thank you for having us.
By the way, and
Happy
the
holidays.
Look at that.
Yeah, I know, right?
Happy almost New Year.